What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Boutique podcast. That's right. We are back once again for another Deadpool talk. Got into it a little bit last week. Last week was supposed to be our Deadpool chat. We really only scratched the surface. We didn't want to get any spoilery. So then we figured, you know what? This week, we're actually going to talk about it. We're going to take a real deep dive to all the cameos, all the stuff that's happened, the suit variants, and everything. So, guys, if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to get it spoiled, don't be watching this. I'm warning you right now. Spoiler warning. I'm only going to do this once. If you have not seen the movie, don't come complaining that we spoil it for you.
Thank you, Meg Han. By the way, you haven't been on for weeks, and this is how you come in. Happy 100th birthday, Con Daddy. Thanks for that. By the way, that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mr. Aka,
Yes,
Side
sir.
Complex Cosplay. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing. I'm very, 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 very excited. I ordered the new suit about a week ago. Actually, a week ago to the day, and it arrived today. And I tried it on, and it's snug in all the places it needs to be snug.
Yeah,
a few
so
places it maybe
swell.
doesn't need to be. So I got very, very lucky. In fact, the site I ordered it from has a checkbox before you can hit buy now that says, I have read the size chart. You have to click that before it will let you actually order the suit. So I'm very, very lucky. The suit came complete. It's got the whole 9 yards. I did a couple little test fittings there and took a picture and posted it on Instagram stories. So if you want to see the suit, go check it out. The arms come off, so I think doesn't breathe at all. So I think I'm gonna take that off. And what better day for the suit to come in than the day we're going to be talking about the Deadpool and Wolverine movie that is sweeping the world. And as JS just mentioned, spoilers be bound. Last week we talked about it. No spoilers. This week, nothing but, man, wall to wall.
Spoiling it.
Let's fucking go.
And with us, before we fucking go, we should mention that there's a couple of guys that are with us. One guy that's been with us a bunch, especially lately, and another guy that's only been with us once before. First of all, it's Rob, the bad guy. Rob, what's going on? What do we owe the honor, sir?
You know what? I'm really passionate about this movie, and I want to talk about it.
See, we just got to find topics that Rob's really super into, and then
That's
he'd
it.
be like,
That's all
I
it
want
is.
to be on the
There.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
No.
And by the way, guys, if you are jonesing for your geeks, we will be talking about it a little bit later. But this Saturday, you're going to see all three of these handsome geek gentlemen on Saturday at VonCon.
Well, are we seeing this gentleman at
I don't know
VonCon as
yet.
well?
I haven't got there yet, but I want to make sure everybody knows you're going to be able to see the three dude geeks coming to that con in a rare triple performance there. So make sure you come out to VonCon. But also joining us today, our buddy Wayne Cuffey, one of the earliest guys to come into the podcast. He's been there, a lurker for so long. We had him on once. And by the way, we didn't reach out to Wayne for this. Wayne was like, I also am passionate and need to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Wayne, what's life like? How's it treating you? What's going on?
It's been pretty good. Had some things happen, some good, some bad along the way. But as soon as I heard that this was going to happen, I'm like saying, I want in. I don't care how I get in. I just want in on this one. And I think because it's right now approximately $890 million that this movie has made. I think everybody and their mama have seen this movie.
You would think so.
Yeah. You think so.
Mrs. Onion says hello, geeks. Bob, thanks. Say hello to Mrs. Onion for us as well.
Hi, Mr. Onion. Hi, Mrs. Onion.
Yeah.
So remember, guys, to all you guys out there, if you haven't seen this movie, you got about 2 minutes. This is your 2-minute warning. Because after that, we're spoiling it all.
315,000. So million. 903,315,000.
Yep.
Wow.
Worldwide.
I wonder if there's a live
And I think
picture.
it's already. I think it passed the Passion of the Christ for the highest domestic rated R film of all time too. So, by the way, before we do dive headfirst into the spoilers, if you're watching here, and I'm sure you are now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what in the balls are you doing? Come on, guys. Give us a sub, give us a like, give us a follow, throw us a comment, throw us a bone here, man. Help us help you. get this to as many people in eyeballs and earballs as possible. Throw that sub on there. And if you already have it, but you know somebody that doesn't, get them to sub too. Share it on your social medias. Throw links into your stories on Instagram or throw it on Facebook. Let them know this is the Geek Show to watch, the Geek Boutique, every Thursday at 7. And we've got some additional content about to come out on the actual channel.
We do. So, I mean, for one, if you know people that like to listen to podcasts, give us a hint. Tell us about us. Like we always say, we're on Spotify. Give us a follow there. It really helps us out. We've got a bunch of new content coming out. Well, one specifically, the Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon season 2 has just ended. I want to say 4 days ago. Sunday. So 4 days ago. So we've got a reaction video by editor Megan coming out.
She's same with why Rob wanted to be on this podcast. She was very passionate about season 2 in particular, but that finale, she really wanted to say some words.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to.
I got some thoughts too.
Have words about the finale.
I gotta check that out.
So go check out Megan's video. It should be coming out. Hopefully, I'd like to say 6 p.m. tomorrow night. That video should be out. So if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. If you click the notification bell, it'll make sure to let you know when that video goes live.
I think we've given people enough time to get out if they're going to get out. If they haven't seen the film, we're coming up on 7 minutes now. I've been rambling on long enough.
Yeah, I think the 2-minute mark, 2-minute warning is going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's fucking go.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Oh shit.
If we're
Here we go.
To do Deadpool and Wolverine, we gotta do it a lot. We gotta do it justice. We have to do it R-rated.
Not messing around. So guys, there be spoilers. We're going to be talking about all the sweet juicy cameos. We're going to be talking about all the funny scenes that we can remember, all the different tie-ins, though they be slim, to the greater MCU. Really, I think it's fair to say, and I'll just kind of start us off with this and you guys can react. This seemed like what we thought it was going to be was a love letter to the Fox universe of Marvel films.
Correct.
Not just the Fox X-Men, by the way, as we found out really quickly. Fox movies that were supposed to be and never were. And even kind of like the OG Fox superhero comic book R-rated movie. We got to see what I thought was the coolest cameo of all the cameos. And that's saying something, because one of those other cameos was the guy that I think is the most perfect human on the face of planet Earth, but his was not the coolest cameo. Who was the coolest cameo in that movie for you guys? For me, it was Wesley Snipes' Blade. There's no question that it was Blade.
If it wasn't for Wesley Snipes, this whole thing probably would never have started the way it has. So to bring him back into this, chef's kiss. Everybody, when it was in the theaters, lost their freaking monkey mind, including this geek right here. Right here. There was
Rob,
so much awesome.
What about you? What was your oh shit moment with the cameos?
So I wasn't paying attention to the whole hype going into it. So you're talking about the ode to the Fox movies. I didn't clue into that until the credits.
Now that was a nice little bit in the credits, by the way. We'll talk about
which
that,
was really nice. But once I started seeing those characters pop up, especially with Blade, then it was a smack in the face. Oh shit, this is the direction this is going, right?
Yeah.
And then when you saw Elektra, I was like, okay, cool. Not sure is my favorite, but I mean, Channing Tatum, what surprised me, a Gambit as well. And I'm sure we'll get to that, but that's special in its own way itself.
Yes,
right?
We'll definitely be unpacking that for sure.
But yeah, when Blade showed up, it was okay, this is interesting.
JS, what about you?
So who was your favorite cameo?
Yeah.
Who was my favorite?
Yeah.
What was your oh shit cameo?
The biggest oh shit was Blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a little man crush on Gambit.
Yeah, I'm
there.
so okay. So I'm there
like
with
a big
you.
one.
So I said oh shit so many times in this movie. My Jen was
change
like,
the
holy
sheets.
fuck, man, shut the fuck up. People are we're gonna get kicked out of this theater.
Fortunately, it was an R-rated movie. Otherwise,
listen, dude, I was freaking out. I said oh shit so many times. Every time a new cameo came up, I was like, oh my god. you know, when Toad shows up, I was like, and he shows up for a fraction of a second. It's like, ooh, that's Toad.
Yeah.
You know, I think my favorite cameo is the Fantastic Four mobile.
Yes.
Oh, the Fantasticar
The
Yes.
Fantastic Car.
that they tool around in. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I thought
All right.
that was genius. But Gambit. A lot of people are freaking out because, you know, it's Gambit and we got Taylor Kitsch's version of Gambit, which was, you know, okay, but it wasn't really Gambit. No, we actually got Gambit in the suit.
Yeah.
And can I say, Channing Tatum doesn't look like Gambit at all. Actually, looking at him, I felt a little cringy looking at him because he doesn't look like Gambit at all. But when he starts doing the shit with the cards and when he starts talking and then it's like, oh, wait a second.
When he
This
starts
is like
talking.
90s. This is like X-Men 91 Gambit.
It's been a while since
we're
I've seen
getting,
Sling Blade. Hit me again.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, listen, I loved it. I thought that was fantastic. How many years has he been trying to get this movie off the ground?
Yeah, a long time. Passion project of his. It's
You
stuck in
know?
development hell forever and ever and ever. And it seemed like it was finally getting some legs. And then Disney bought
Yeah.
Fox, and Disney was like, nah.
No.
And that's why he kept making the joke that he didn't even know if he had a universe to save or go back to because his movie never got created.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Woo,
especially
I'm
with
about to
Wesley
make a name
Snipes,
for
though.
myself here.
Yeah, because I mean the Channing Tatum, because of that cameo made sense, and I'd heard Elektra was going to be there,
Yeah.
and there was rumors too that X-23 was going to be there and everything
Mhm.
else, and
Yeah.
even the Chris Evans thing. I'm like, and by the way, up until he said "Flame On," I
Oh,
had
yeah.
no
Really thought he
idea
was
that's what he was
Cap.
going to do.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
had part of you could see like under
You
his
could
sleeve
see
or
the
whatever.
blue.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
The thing
no,
is, that's
genius.
the problem because Human Torch and Captain America is blue, and with that
They're
rag
both
on,
in
you
blue
couldn't
suits.
tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But nobody surprised me the way Wesley Snipes did because it didn't even occur to me that they could even bring him. Like I've forgotten that it was even a Fox movie.
Mhm.
I'd
Yeah.
forgotten that was a Marvel property. And then as soon as he walked in, I'm like, there's no fucking way you made this happen. Like what wheels of the earth did you have to turn to make this actually happen? So I
Yeah.
think that's what, and not only that, but he's not just a walk-on. Like another
No,
cameo
no,
that I
no.
really dug. Like he's got scenes, he's got
Yeah,
lines.
yeah.
Like,
He's got
Yeah,
lines
yeah.
and
Yeah.
full blown fight. Like the whole
Yeah,
final
yeah.
action
Oh,
sequence they're all in,
yes.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can I say, I think
Please.
that was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie is that final
Big
showdown.
battle. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was freaking dope. It was one of the best fight scenes I'd seen in a long time. Gambit was a big part of that for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But seeing them all fight, and even though if Elektra didn't make much sense in the context of this, seeing them all fight and just having them all on the screen together,
Yeah.
linking now all these movies back. That's what they're doing, right? They're saying these are ours now, right? You're all Marvel.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying, right? It was a big fuck you to Fox, but we're all Marvel, right? Yeah, I freaking loved it. That fight scene at the end was amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the Marvel team up we never thought we'd get,
Yeah.
but we so
Yeah.
desperately needed. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap! From start to finish, that was
100%.
great.
Okay, I want to mention one more cameo, and then I'm gonna hit you guys with
Yes.
a question. But of course,
The
we do have to talk
Cavalrine.
about the Cavalrine.
Yeah,
My guy Henry Cavill
wow.
as the Wolverine variant.
Forgot about him.
Oh my god, dude! And again, and his line to him, like
From the
"Sir,
back,
yeah,
you
just
almost
stay
look like
on
Henry. Holy
behalf
shit!
of
Yeah,
the world. This just feels right. We will treat
Yes.
you so much better than those shit fucks down the street." And and by the way, Andre nailing it. Cavill was swollen.
Yeah, he was buff.
Fucking that
Yeah.
scene.
He
Like
looked
I
so
couldn't
Yeah.
freaking
believe
good.
how huge he looked. Like he looked Witcher huge.
Yeah.
I know they're getting ready to start filming Highlander. I didn't know he was going to get that fucking jacked.
Yeah,
for
I had
Highlander.
no
He's
idea
Yeah.
either.
Giant. But when he says you were just leaving, and then he does the arm cocking thing he did in Mission Impossible to bring the claws out and then
Yes.
smash it. I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna need to go to the bathroom for about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Andre is saying, Snipe saying there's only going to be one blade, followed by
Yeah.
Ryan slowly turning to look at us was easily the funnest moment of the
Yeah.
movie for me. There was so many of those moments,
Mhm.
so many of those
Yeah.
one-liners that were so well placed and unexpected. Okay. so many jokes came at me so fast and not expecting that joke to come that I was literally bursting in laughter in the
Yeah.
theater.
Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna get good.
Oh,
Now, let me ask you the
$90.
$1 million. I want to ask you the $1 million question in regards to the cameos, and
Yeah,
then we can move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Who did you want to see that you didn't?
Ooh.
What cameo? Not even a rumor, but what cameo, based on all the different Marvel properties that have come out, would you have liked to have seen, like a former Fox or whatever, that you didn't get a chance to see? Now they did name drop Daredevil, Punisher, a few others.
Yep.
So they at least talked about them, but you didn't get to see them.
Mhm.
But was there one Marvel character from previous films or TV shows that you would have liked to have seen in there? I personally think there's at least one obvious answer, but I mean,
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
obviously. For me, it's Deadpool and Spider-Man kind of go hand in hand.
I think
They're-
that's still to come, but that is a good answer.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
good answer.
surprised there wasn't a cameo of some sort, a variant like Tobey Maguire or
Right.
like,
Oh,
you know what I
Garfield.
mean? I was kind of expecting that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you may be right, but there's actually a reference to Spider-Man in the in that with the first fight with Wolverine and Deadpool, when he's trying to throw his punches. It's the same ones, the same look that Peter, when he first gets his spider powers, was doing with Flash in the locker room. If you replay that again, if you watch it again, it's exactly the same way. When he's trying to throw it and he's just dodging.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
a
exact
reference to
same.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I did not pick up on that. Bob, you did not see a Red Hulk, but you did see a Green Hulk.
Yes, that
Yes,
was
the
cool.
The Hulk does have a cameo in it as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that worked. So that worked out. I'm cool with that.
So Spider-Man saying JS. What about you? What about Rob and Wayne? Do you guys have any cameos that you? Megan saying I really wanted a Magneto. Fair. Again, at least
Yes.
name dropped. At least he was name dropped. He was one of the
name
ones that were
dropped.
killed. I don't know how the balls you kill Magneto, but yeah, sure. I guess he
We
died.
didn't get any first class.
No.
Yeah,
We didn't get any first class X-Men's.
no, we got some from the Deadpool version, which is fine. It was with Spider-Man, but I was glad to happy with the reference. At least it's going to one of the OGs and put that in there somehow that would able to make it work.
Rob?
I don't really have any strong. Like I said, I kind of buried my head in the sand on spoilers going into this, so I
that's fair.
knew there's going to be cameos, but I had no
Yeah,
idea there's going to be that many cameos.
Mhm.
What
so
about-
to say, I really hope someone would be there. I don't
Yeah,
think anybody like wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't hoping anybody was going to be there. I was
I-
hoping for a movie with a plot.
Well,
But,
you didn't get that. That's for sure. And we're gonna get to that. But
Mm.
I'm really surprised we didn't get Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That'd be
Not
That's a
gonna
good
lie.
point. Yeah.
Really thought we were gonna get Nick Cage's Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
Nick Cage. He does a million movies.
Yeah,
could have
he
been
would've
just
totally
a
been
complete
in for
walk
this.
on. It would have gone
Yeah.
with the whole theme and scenario.
Or
And
you
even
know
the
that,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That is Nick Cage. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
that was the only one where I was like, oh wow, I'm really surprised. Anyways.
yeah, so,
We can absolutely move on to
all right.
the plot of this film.
Which is what Hugh Jackman's freaking abs and makes us look like we really need to hit the gyms like really hard.
Lou Ferrigno's Hulk. See, Andre thinking outside the box. That would have been
That
dope as
would have been
shit.
cool.
Oh,
Absolutely, that would have been very, very cool.
Yeah.
My
Didn't even
man
think of
Dre
that.
throwing that down. Andre,
Yeah.
very nice, man.
Yep, very, very
Yeah.
cool. Dig it.
I have something to say. Who would have thought that a fight in an Honda Odyssey would playing "You're the One That I Want" from Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta was one of the coolest scenes I ever thought we would see. Like, I never thought that would happen. And with two people who can't die.
That's Wolverine's whole monologue. I've seen that whole monologue
Oh.
where he dresses down Deadpool. I've seen that thing on the internet now on shorts like a million times. I can almost say it word for word now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so good. I mean,
I'm gonna fight you now.
Yeah,
You got nothing to say, mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing. Wow.
But the plot.
plot.
Does
The
anybody
plot.
want to try to like TLDR the plot of this fucking movie? Does anybody want to try to explain?
So
the
this
plot
is
of
what I
Deadpool
got
and
out.
Wolverine?
This is what I got out of the plot. There was a rogue TVA agent that decided he was going to start trimming
The fad.
Yeah, that he was going to start trimming timelines like they used to do in the olden days, right?
But only after what, JS? What had to happen before?
Yeah,
he
I didn't understand that. Only
this
after
anchor
the
being
The
has
new,
to die.
this new term anchor being shows up.
Yes.
Yeah, after this anchor being dies, then So okay, so if the anchor being in our universe in 666 was Iron Man, what does that mean? Does that mean that 666 is about to end?
616.
Well,
Yeah, it
Or
must be.
616?
6.
Well, we're the sacred timeline, so
666.
we're the only
616.
616 is the sacred timeline.
It's
the only one that matters.
of time.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's the problem. They
maybe-
keep mixing multiverses and timelines. They keep making those interchangeable. And they're not supposed to be the same thing.
They're not.
Separate universes and separate timelines are supposed to be two different things. But Marvel's been. By the way, we're getting way off topic. We were trying to talk about the actual plot of this
This is
Yeah.
part
dog
of the
shit
plot.
movie.
So anyway, so this rogue TVA agent is about to blow up Deadpool's
Universe.
timeline universe.
Whatever. Yeah.
I guess the idea here is this is the Deadpool that we know from the other movies, and he's been using Cable's time device to jump timelines, and that's how he comes to 616 to talk to Happy because he wants to join the Avengers. Happy's like, yeah, thanks, bud. We'll don't call us, we'll call you. And kicks him out the door, and then he goes back home, and blah blah blah. TVA comes along. Ooh, Deadpool, you're gonna help us. Help you do what? Blow up my universe? And that's when he goes and gets Logan to help him out.
But not the Logan from the Fox universe. And by the way, not the Logan from
he's
the
dead.
616
Because he's the
universe
anchor
either.
being from
It's
10,005.
it's a whole other Logan from
a whole other
completely
Logan.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. Let's be honest. The plot made no sense.
Not supposed
The
to.
movie was not
Terrible.
about the plot.
It's terrible.
It's basically, if you want to make it short, it's Deadpool and Wolverine's road trip.
No, I get that,
What
but
it
that's
was-
not really a plot, right? Like that's just
What
like
is
the
a
funny
plot?
synopsis. But like the plot of the film is just
Yeah.
so laughably terrible.
It's sketch comedy is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sketch comedy strung together.
Yes.
And we got a fun movie. There's no plot to it, but it's like Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
for the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. Suck at Fox and going to Disneyland. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the meta-ness of the plot, and 100%. Like that's what exactly what Rob's saying. And thankfully, the sketches work. That's the only reason why, because you strung a bunch of these together, and because they all work, they're all funny, they're all engaging, they're all
100%.
entertaining. Then the
Yeah.
movie works as a whole. But then when you
doesn't
spend
matter
4 seconds thinking about it, you're like, "Fuck," which is fine as long as, but if any of it affects the MCU as a whole moving forward, if they start talking about anchor beings, if they start talking about timelines and multiverses as though they're the same thing, if they start doing these things, the lame things that they invented for this movie to get these two guys together while keeping Logan dead, by the way, which was one of the conditions of Hugh Jackman coming back. He said, you cannot affect the Logan movie. That has to be set in stone. I die in that film. That has to still be there. So he was dead. We know that because Deadpool beat the shit out of about 27,000 guys with Logan's bones.
So I saw an interview with Hugh Jackman, and he's actually the one that had the idea for this.
Yeah, he called
Hey.
Ryan.
He called Ryan Reynolds and
Yeah.
said, what if I'm like a completely different Logan from another timeline?
Well, he originally called Ryan Reynolds and said, I would like to do the movie, please. And Ryan was like, excuse me, what? You retired, sir. 3 days after Deadpool came out, you retired.
Yeah. But I remember him also saying a few that if Marvel wanted me back, I might join.
Okay, so welcome to my biggest beef with this, probably the whole thing. They keep touting this as an MCU movie. None of it takes place in the MCU.
It's its own
Okay.
standalone. It might as well be a
What-
standalone.
Define
starts-
MCU,
He's 616.
not the MCU. Think about it this way: the MCU is the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Right.
Yeah.
which encompasses 10,005, which is Deadpool's universe, and 616 being
Yes.
what you're saying is the MCU.
guess, but
That's the multiverse.
Yes.
The MCU is the cinematic universe,
Yes.
which they're now part of because they're in the multiverse.
Granted, but they weren't part of it until this film. I think going into
how
the
they
film, I
brought
think a
you
lot
into it.
assumes, yes, but I think a lot of us assume when they kept on saying this was going to be an MCU film that it'd be taking place in the universe that we've just spent.
Completely agree with that.
100%.
My anger. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so that's
not
all
what
I'm
it
saying. Like
was.
he starts off in 10,005 and he ends off in 10,005.
Yes.
Right? There is this brief segue in 616 when he goes to see Happy, but the vast majority of the film takes place either in the Void
Yes.
or in 10,005. Very
Well, the
little.
vast majority of the movie is spent in the void.
Right.
Complete.
So
yeah.
he really doesn't get any interaction with anybody in 616, like any of the people that you and I know from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like he interacts with a bunch of former Fox Universe people that are now part of the MCU, but not any of the current MCU people that you were expecting him to see.
We were all baited into that.
100%.
We all fell for the same trap.
Yes. Yes.
And this whole like I Marvel Jesus thing, funny, but once everybody clued into like what the jig was, it's like,
yeah,
you're not the fucking Marvel Jesus.
No.
Like,
hey fuckers, sorry I'm late. Yes, guys, I understand the scene with Happy in the office. So Happy is the only guy really from 616 that he interacts with in the film at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That we know from 616. I know like the TVA agents and that they're all in 616 or whatever, but that's still not.
I don't think they are. I think they come from
they're
616.
Yeah, but they're in 10,005 because that's the universe they're destroying with the Time Ripper. So no, they're still not even in 616.
Yeah.
It was just the scene with Happy in his office.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hour movie, guy. It's 5 minutes. He's in the 616. The whole rest of the show, he's never in it. So now what happens moving
Mr. Stark doesn't
forward-
do this anymore. What, cameos?
Yeah.
Interviews.
So the film ends, spoiler alert, with him in 10,005 with all of his friends from 10,005 having saved 10,005.
Oh, of
So
which
is
he changed, right? Because he reverts time and unalived, like undeaded a bunch of people. So all of X-Force are just magically back now.
So is he in the MCU? Is he in the MCU adjacent? Is he going to make his way?
He's in the MCU the way we see it.
Well, the thing
Why
is,
was
from
Thor?
outside.
Why was Thor crying? That's all I'm saying.
There it is. There's a little
Why was Thor crying?
Hey, we don't know.
Why did Thor get in here? What the hell happened? What the hell happened there? Now we have to know.
Megan
Well, I
asked,
think
so did he use Cable's time device just to go see Happy? No. I mean, yes, he used the time device to go see Happy, but he also used the time device to bring back all of the X-Force.
Right.
And
Shatterstar.
Vanessa.
And Vanessa, that's right, because
Yeah.
Vanessa's back as well.
Which, by the way, the only ones of the X-Force that we ended up seeing in this film was Shatterstar. I don't know why he's the only one they brought back.
Well, Peter.
I think
Peter
lives regardless.
Yeah, and
You're right.
Peter's
Peter
the
did
only one that lives, right?
Well, we don't know what happened to Vanisher because, Vanisher.
No,
But
Vanisher died. He got
We
electrocuted.
don't see Bedlam. We don't see Domino. We don't see Cable.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
No.
We don't see Zeitgeist. Like we don't see any of them. I get there's some money involved for sure. Absolutely, there's some money involved. It's just weird that like there's just one. There's just Shatterstar, just so we can show you that this is what we did and not have to. I did like that a little bit when she pulled Chris Evans' skin off and Wolverine said something like, "Oh, I was really starting to like that guy," and he's like, "Do you know what he was doing to the budget?"
Yeah.
Chris Evans, obviously. Yeah.
And I love the post credit scene. What happens when they actually show where Johnny was actually saying every single line. Saying,
Okay.
Like,
we need to clear this up. Meghan, I love you to pieces, and not just the fun parts, but you're wrong. A lot of people are thinking that this was the scene from Ragnarok, and they superimposed Wade over the Matt Damon Loki. That is not the case. It is a scene from Dark World.
Yeah.
And he superimposed Deadpool over who was supposed to be the dead Loki. That is Chris Hemsworth in that scene. Yeah.
So
it's been confirmed. So
Hmm.
don't beat me up.
recognize
You're not
that
allowed
right
to.
away.
Yeah, you're not allowed to hit me.
Okay.
Christina has a good point here about the established Fox is a universe in the MCU, and now they'll bring him in and him and Wolverine into 616, probably in Secret Wars. Secret Wars, I think, is why they're doing this. The Secret Wars, I think, is really going to be the multiverse where now you're going to launch a bunch of new properties, I think, although Fantastic Four is happening before that, so I don't know. I still think Fantastic Four, when it launches, it probably won't be. Well, it won't be 616 because Stark or what's his face is Doom, right? So
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be.
Robert Downey Jr. is Doom. So Fantastic Four cannot be a 616 product, right?
Agreed. I think this movie helped to establish something that hadn't really been well established before, that it's going to allow Downey to be Doom. Because before then, there was really just the two things, right? Like either most of your variants look the same, like Doctor Strange, so all of them seem to look like Benedict Cumberbatch, or like Peter Parker, most of your variants don't look like you at all. They're all Peter Parker, but they all look different. Right. But this one actually showed that you can have two completely different, unrelated characters have the exact same look and face. And they hadn't really done that before. So Chris Evans, that particular person, played Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and played Steve Rogers, Captain Marvel, or Captain America. Two completely separate characters with no ties to each other, but they look identical to each other. I think that's how they. I don't think he is a Stark variant. I really don't. I think he's going to be Victor Von Doom, and I think he's going to ham it up, and I think he's going to make it so completely different from Tony Stark that you're supposed to forget that that's the guy that played Tony Stark, which you're super not going to be able to do. But
Robert
at least they
Downey Jr.
established that in here. And I'm wondering if even they're going to have, like, they're
sense.
literally going to show it, like, in the movie to help explain it to you whenever they show Doom. I wonder if they're going to literally do a side-by-side. There's the Human Torch. There's Captain America. Look at those two dudes. They look exactly alike, but they're not related in any way, shape. They're not variants of each other.
Yeah.
They're completely separate entities.
Yeah, because in the actual comic book, there is an Anthony Stark, not Tony Stark.
No,
Anthony
I know.
Stark.
Yeah, but Anthony Stark is superior Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not. He's still Stark, right? He's not Victor Von Doom. You know what I mean?
And like I think we talked about it last week. Is we've heard rumors both ways. We've heard that he's a Stark variant, and we've heard that they're very adamant that he's not. That he is Victor Von Doom. So who in the balls knows? It's Marvel. Like,
yeah.
I like the direction you took that though, Jeff. That's a good theory. I'm going with that one. That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Yeah.
It has a lot of weight to that. So I'm going to go with your idea.
I saw a really well. You know how you see like trailers on YouTube and it looks like a legit, but it turns out it's a fan made thing.
Yeah.
So I saw one for Doomsday, and they actually did such a convincing job that it made me go, "Oh, okay, I get it now. That's how he. That's how he can do it. That's so good."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You should share that with me.
I'll see if I can find it again. Yeah.
Yeah, you should share that with me. Andrew Saxon saying, wasn't a fan of Secret Wars comic story. Is pretty far out there and weird. Not sure how translating it to the screen is going to go.
Don't worry.
It's
Don't
not.
worry.
Yeah, it's not.
They've yet to faithfully translate any of their stories from comics to film. So
I
the
mean,
closest they came was Civil War,
multiverse-
and even that wasn't a 1-for-1. So
Ultron was pretty good.
no, it was great, but it's nothing like Age of Ultron in the comics. No, dude, nothing.
No.
I had a lot of the core things there for me.
Okay. Has it been a while since you read Age of
Evolving Ultron and anyway, whatever.
Yeah. At least Civil War was literally over the Accords, and it was Tony versus Steve. Like at least those elements were there. Nothing else was the same. But yeah, so I keep hearing this over and over and over again from the Marvel folks saying, "Oh, well, they're probably not going to very good." Yeah, they've never adapted any of it faithfully from the comics. They just use it as sort of a starting point, and then they evolve the story the way they want the story to go.
They just make it as a foundation of what's to come, and they just take it and make it however they want.
And sometimes I think they just like, this is a really cool name, like Age of Ultron. I thought they were like, oh, that's a really cool name. We'll develop Ultron, and we got this really cool guy with a cool voice that's going to do him.
Who I loved. I think I think
James
that
Spader?
movie. Yeah.
Oh, the movie.
That movie got. I don't understand the hate for that movie. I liked Age of Ultron.
I liked it.
I guess as far as but of the 4 Avengers movies, where does it rank?
Yeah, it's probably the weakest one. But
Right, that's all I'm saying. I don't think it was a bad movie
know.
either, but it's not Endgame. It's certainly not Infinity War. It's not the first one either, right? So I don't think Thor: The Dark World is that bad either. And until Love and Thunder, it was still the weakest of the Thor films. And now Love and Thunder just took a steaming dump on it. But
yeah, what a
Nelly.
Yeah.
What a terrible film. Anyways, we're not here to talk about
back is dead.
We're here to talk
about Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine. We want to be hearing from you guys in the credits. How did you feel about it? Sequel Wars will probably get Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. I certainly hope so.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, that's the whole point, right? Secret War is going to play heavily on the whole multiverse, different timelines thing.
Yeah,
that's why they're doing all of this now. They're preparing us for Secret Wars. I think that's why. Again, they're launching Fantastic Four, but it's going to be in a different timeline, a different Earth, right?
Mhm.
So that when Secret Wars comes along, that's when they'll be able to bring all these characters in together
Mhm.
while still keeping them separate and being able to do their own things separately.
Yes.
Right? They're still going to be able to be in their own universes separately, but still be able to bring them together when they need be, like for Secret Wars. I think that's exactly what they're doing. But Ryan's wife is Lady Deadpool. Talk about a smoke show. You're right, and they didn't confirm it. And what a missed opportunity to take her mask off. I don't understand why
It wasn't
didn't-
her in the suit.
Really. So it was just
It
her
wasn't.
voice.
It was just her voice. And she had a
Oh.
stunt double, body double.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. We still got her. We got Lady Deadpool, so it doesn't matter. It matters. It was
Sorry
awesome.
to ruin that fantasy for everybody,
Yeah.
but
And can I also say, it took us 24 years to get Hugh Jackman put on the mask. That slow mo,
Okay.
you put the mask
so
on.
badass.
Yeah.
Holy
So let's talk
crap.
about
So
let's talk
badass.
about the
This
suit for a
mask? Is this-
second.
Jeff,
the
do it in
mask?
slow mo,
There it is.
Jeff.
What
Yeah,
was
with my headphones on.
everybody's
Water yourself up for
reaction?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my theater erupted in cheer when he pulled his cowl on.
Yeah. Mine did too. I think there was a bang on the next theater saying "Be quiet" because it was so loud.
Well, even Jackman, I think it was when they did him and Ryan did Hot Ones. I think the host of that show. If you haven't seen Hot Ones, it's celebrities eating scorching hot chicken wings and trying to
was
answer
good.
questions. And they asked them specifically, "What is it like as far as super suit fitting goes?" And everything. Because Ryan's been through it several times, but this was all these years he's been playing it, man. They'd hinted at it in one of the films. They had him like open a drawer and the yellow and brown suit was there, but he never
Yeah.
had it on. And even he was like, why? As soon as he put it on, he's like,
Yeah.
why in the fuck did we wait so long to do this?
24 years. It was
It
so
just felt
freaking
right.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also said like everybody in there that were for cameramen who've been doing this for years were absolutely dropped to the floor. It was silent. Boop, you could hear him drop for him just walking in that suit. And I'm like, yeah, all tatted up, no arm sleeves with the mask on. Yes, this is the Wolverine we've been waiting for, and I am here for it.
Not gonna lie, I kind of like the very brief John Byrne suit that we saw. Maybe even a little bit better than the suit.
Yeah.
That tan and brown suit that he had on when he was
Yeah.
fighting the Hulk.
Mhm.
That
It looked
he
really
looked
good.
dope as shit in that suit, man.
Yeah,
That
it
suit
looked
fit
really-
him perfect.
Listen, can we talk about that for a second? All the different variant Wolverines, because
Sure.
yes, the yellow suit was great.
Mhm.
When they rip off the sleeves, that was great.
Yep.
When he puts the cowl on, that was the icing on the sundae. I think everybody knows about it. Everybody's seen it, but man, all these different Wolverines, that was a big part of it for me. I loved seeing the comic book accurate height Wolverine,
Yeah,
Holy
the
shit.
Age of
the Weapon
Apocalypse.
Omega, Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, the Weapon Omega Wolverine,
How about
Yep.
Patch?
Oh,
Patch.
yes. As soon as I saw
That
the
was
suit,
awesome.
Yes.
Dope.
Oh, Calverine.
The
We have
Cavalrine.
The
We
cavalry.
have the comic accurate Wolverine.
Yeah.
Who's a good old Wolverine? Who's a good old?
Wolverine, you short king. That's right. That's you are. That was so-
you stuck that landing, didn't you, you short king?
Oh Lord, that was so.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, listen, I loved all the different cameos. I think I'm with Jeff though. The brown suit, the
Oh, the John Byrne suit, brother.
yeah, that
My
was
word. He looks so dope in that suit.
yeah.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
it's a long time coming.
And
We
even
got
that guy, like, and what's funny is that it's not Wolverine that kind of got Deadpool away from that Wolverine in the first place. That was the Hulk after Deadpool turns and uses Loki's line, "I'm Marvel Jesus, you dull creature," and then Hulk just smashes the shit out of him. So
Yeah.
yeah. Because that Wolverine didn't look like that. Wolverine looked like he was having a good time. Like he brings the clout and he's smirking as he's fighting the Incredible Hulk, which did still look like the Ruffalo Hulk, who's like the weakest Hulk that's ever been. But still, it looked like he was having a good time. So
Yeah. Mhm.
there's
Still,
so
I
many
liked
different
it.
ways that you could like go off with that too. And poor Hugh Jackman, he's 55, man. That's my question for you guys too. How Ryan Reynolds is 45, Hugh is 55. How long can these guys keep fucking doing this
until
like
they're
you
90.
came out of yeah, I know that's the joke until they're 90, but really at the end of the day, like I guess Ryan could pull a Mandalorian. Like Ryan could just keep the mask on the whole time.
Yeah.
Mostly use other dudes to do the motions,
Mhm.
and he does a lot of voiceover work and just has the mask off a few times. But Hugh is just fucking out there, man. Like the brother's 55. Can we let him rest? Can we let him just not be Wolverine?
Maybe that's
anymore?
how they do it, right? Maybe he just wears the cowl more, and then you can have a body double doing most of the action and the work, right?
Or just have Hugh Jackman do it in certain years, like a couple years after like he gets to rest, relax, and then when he's ready to go,
that's what we need, Wayne. A 62-year-old Wolverine.
Yeah, we get old man
at
Logan.
the fucking Value Mart, fucking whipping out his
We also
discount
could add
card,
that
his
as
senior
one of the
discount card. Yeah.
Well,
Can
listen,
can
if
we-
he's going to
Can
be
we
as
also
ripped as he
can I
was
also
in
just
this,
add this also? Can we talk about this whole freaking Deadpool in sync viral bye dad that's been going completely out of control?
the opening
From the
sequence.
opening credits, right?
Yeah. Oh, holy crap. Like everybody and their mom are trying to do this dance. Like, really? And
Not
then it's like,
everybody, Wayne.
listen, this is the reason why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this guy.
Yeah.
Not this guy.
Yeah.
I think they started that geniusly. I think the whole digging up Logan
Mhm.
to find out that he's actually really dead and he's not coming back. Like you can't just dig him up and all of a sudden he'll heal. No, fuck,
Yeah.
he's really dead. Oh shit, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
And
I
then
like that.
using the adamantium skeleton. Oh, I'm not gonna give you my weapons, but I'm not gonna use them. And then proceeds to kill everybody to bye
Oh,
using
that
the adamantium bones.
was- yeah. Can I also? There's actually a reference to NSYNC in the in for Celine Dion's Out of Ashes from the music video, because she goes, "This thing only goes to 11, so beat it, Spider-Man." I should have gotten NSYNC 10 years later. we got NSYNC. Oh my gosh. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. This is an amazing movie. And to make sure that I make sure it's a really good movie, I'm going to go see it again, just to be sure. For research.
I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to
Yeah.
appreciate it a little bit more on a second viewing now that I know it's dumb as shit, that I could just kind of sit back and like enjoy it for what it is, as opposed to going in with certain expectations.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you'll probably catch like 50 new jokes you didn't catch the first
Oh,
time.
yeah.
around.
100%.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, and I think that was great. And again, the swan song at the end with the post credits for Fox, and as much as there's a lot of times we shitted on Fox for very good reason. Let's get this straight. Some of them were great, some of them not so much. But without those being done, we wouldn't appreciate what we have now.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have to give props to that.
No, the
Without
first X-Men
those
even
being done.
the first X-Men even predates the first Spider-Man film. It was the
Yeah.
first ensemble superhero, big budget superhero film, right? So
Yeah.
like leather and spandex and
Mhm.
claws and shape shifting and like the whole, it was a true comic book hero movie that wasn't Batman or Superman. So it kind of got us on this path. Spider-Man came out a year after that, and then we were all off to the races. So some of them were fantastic. Some of my favorite superhero movies are the first X-Men, the second X-Men, Days of Future Past, First
Yeah.
Class. All of those were bangers. Some of the other ones, not so much. So,
Mhm.
you get some hits and your misses, but same with the MCU. It's had all kinds of hits and misses too, right? As long as whatever you get is greater than the sum of its parts, then, and that's kind of where the Fox universe fell off a bit, because it was so inconsistent. The continuity was so all over the place. It was hard to build on stuff and be able to do it the way the MCU did it.
Yeah.
But still, you got hours of entertainment from that stuff.
Agreed.
Well, I
Right?
think one thing that this did well is that it showed us that all those properties were from the same universe, because in the Fox universe, they never had any other franchises cross over,
Mhm.
right? So even though they were all Fox products, they were all different things.
Yeah,
they
they were
were
all
all
their-
their own thing,
Mhm.
right? So I think Deadpool 2, when he goes, or is it the first movie when he goes to the mansion and you have the first class X-Men
2.
behind the door? That was in the
2.
second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time really Fox did anything like that as far as the X-Men goes, right?
And it was a joke, and it was just like
Yeah.
a
And
it
one-off
was meant as a
He's
joke.
like, you think after what the first film made, they could throw us a bone in this one, and then you see them off in the side room, they're plotting.
Yeah,
whatever it
and
is.
like,
Yeah.
we're gonna close over there.
Yeah.
But I
What
gotta
I'm
give.
curious. Sorry, go ahead, Wayne.
No, please go ahead.
Well, I'm just kind of curious now because I think it's fair to say that phase, I don't know what 7, whatever fucking phase we're in right now, going into Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel had kind of had a string of maybe not really super fantastic, successful movies, right?
Yeah.
We've already talked about Love and Thunder. We talked about the Marvels. They've stumbled, Quantumania, just kind of like bomb after bomb after bomb.
Yeah.
I think everybody knew this movie was going to make a shit ton of money, and it doesn't look like it's going to be stopping anytime soon. And everybody's talking about how he's Marvel Jesus. It's the savior. This is what's going to save Marvel. But now I'm looking at the 3 Marvel movies coming out in 2025. Are they going to be able to carry this momentum through Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four? Do those 3 films, do you think, are going to be able to at least maintain some level of excitement for the Marvel Universe overall? Or do you think this movie is going to end up being more of a flash in the pan, and we're going to go right back down to Shitsville with Brave New World and whatever's going to come after that?
Here's my take on that particular goat. The same way how Iron Man started and how that catapulted to the stratus. That's what I think in this next scene where Captain America Brave New World starts up. I think that is going to be the catalyst that's either really helps Marvel go up to where it's supposed to be, or it's going to keep it level, or just going to go right down the crapper. So, because if it doesn't have, it has to have a good story, something you can back on. You have to love the characters and give the fans, at least a lot of them, what they want. Not what you need, but what they want. And once we get that, the rest will be simple.
Rob?
Yeah, I agree with you. I would say this is like obviously a high point. It's a peak for Marvel, but it's a fart joke movie at the end of the day.
Right.
And when we slide into next year and we get Captain America 4, I don't think it's going to be as big as this one was, Deadpool and Wolverine.
No.
But when we come off that peak of those 2, we're going to be much higher than we were going into that peak.
Right.
I have high hopes. I have high hopes for that one. Thunderbolts is totally, I know we've seen those characters, but it's new. It's different.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to give a shit about Thunderbolts.
You're right, but I don't think we're going to be in these like honky multiverse storylines that we've been seeing with Quantumania and some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Sliding into those other ones, I think we're going to get some more of the, I don't know, what we were seeing before.
Yeah.
In the like Captain America 2
Right.
days.
Yeah, Winter Soldiers. Yeah.
Winter Soldier, I think I blanked on the name of it. Now I love the director from that, like the Russo brothers, which I thought was the really high point of the announcements from SDCC.
Yeah.
What, bringing those guys back. Oh, those are the real Marvel Jesus here to get us back on track.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, that's my thoughts on what I think is going to happen next year.
Yeah.
JS?
I am afraid that Captain America Brave New World is going to go the way of Falcon and the Winter Soldier and
Secret Invasion?
Secret Invasion, where the premise is going to be great. The execution is just going to fall because, that's just what they seem to be doing lately. They can't seem to deliver, right? Thunderbolts, like I said, I don't think anybody's going to give a shit about Thunderbolts. I don't know that movie's going to do well at all. The story is going to have to be really, really fucking good, and the word of mouth is going to have to be amazing for people to care to go pay their hard-earned cash to go see a bunch of villains and knockoff superheroes. Anyway, that's my thought. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad movie. I just don't think people are going to care. Fantastic Four, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
How could you not be?
I don't
It's their
know.
4th attempt.
Yeah.
You'd be foolish not to be.
Like, I don't
4
know.
times the charm, right?
I almost feel like the story, the core of who the Fantastic Four are, is just out of style.
That's
right.
what I was
That's-
starting to wonder.
That type of movie, the family dynamic, those specific characters. I don't know. I feel like there's something missing there that was really, really popular, perhaps in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. In 2024, it's not, and they're really going to have to do something to like
different.
Yeah, and they are with the casts. Problem is I don't really like any of the cast other than Pedro Pascal. I don't care for any of these other actors.
I like Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah.
The other two I don't really care for either. But I'll tell you what, there is something unique about Fantastic Four. I'm kind of thinking the same thing along Christina. I'm not terribly confident in Brave New World, and I'm not terribly confident in Thunderbolts because we're just continuing on to like it's a fourth movie in a one franchise, and then it's like you said, it's just a bunch of like one-off things from a bunch of different disparate properties that don't really even have anything to each other other than they all take place in the same universe. But they're all still capitalizing. They're all still relying on you having seen all this shit before, all these characters before, all these settings before. They're going to try to stand on the shoulders of what they're going to try to be more than the sum of those parts. The Fantastic Four is its own completely separate thing, like
new thing,
like Deadpool and Wolverine is. So I think of the three coming, I think it has the best potential to really do what you're saying, do something new and capture an audience with the 60s style that they're going with. I'm hoping it looks like a postmodern type of issue. I really think they have an opportunity to just absolutely knock it out of the park with Fantastic Four and bring them right back up again. I'm not super confident in Thunderbolts or Brave New World. I think it's just retreading all the same bullshit stuff we've been watching for too many years now. Nobody fucking cares anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's really tough. I love Anthony Mackie. Don't get me wrong. I think he makes a great Captain America. I think he made a better Bucky or the Falcon. I'm not going to lie. I think he was better in that particular role. I think when Cap decided to give up the shield, we shouldn't have had any more Cap. It just should have been like that. That's my personal opinion. And if they wanted to start a new franchise based on him being the Falcon, I'm on board, man. Let's do that and explore that because at least it's something new. It's not just putting a new guy in the same suit and trying to rehash the same shit over and over and over again. We've seen it. What are you going to do in Captain America 4 that you didn't do in the first three that we're going to be like, holy shit, this is amazing?
Well, he got a shield and he can fly.
Well, I mean, there's that.
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
And the president turns into a red version of the Incredible Hulk.
Red Hulk. So we'll just have to see, true believers. That's all we can do at this point.
Hey man, I'm crossing my fingers. I hope all three are great. I would love to see us get back to where we were. Like if we're all geeks and nerds, we're all better off if these movies are good and successful because then we get more of them. And
I would agree.
Rough,
Fantastic
right?
Four is your best shot to get back to where we were. If they can pull it off, which
no, it's definitely a 10 and 0, right? Either they kill it or it's dog shit.
Or
like, there's nothing in between.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a movie where people go, eh. It's either going to be like, this is amazing, or get this off the fucking screen as fast as possible.
Well, I wonder maybe they need Ryan Reynolds' marketing team because let's face it, they've been the marketing team for Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool movies or anything he's done. It's either funny as hell or really gets to you, and it's banger after banger after banger each one. So maybe Marvel said, "Hey Ryan, I know we're having some problems. Can we borrow your marketing team for these movies? Maybe one
I'm
for."
just worried that marketing will only take you so far in a case like this, right?
Yeah.
Like we already know these movies. The plots of these movies have been getting weaker and weaker. The movies have been getting progressively worse and worse. Now this one, like we said, is a bit of a flash in the frying pan where all of a sudden it was a good, fun movie, even though the plot was still shit and made no sense whatsoever. I don't know, man. Like I have a hard. I think they need to revamp the people at the upper, like to the Kevin Feige's and down. We need a new team. I think.
Yeah, the X-Men. I think just dump everything and start with a new franchise. The X-Men. It's all there. You've already built all the bones for it. You just haven't cast any of it yet.
Yeah. So
you've got a new super team that you can slowly introduce over time, build it up exactly the way you built up the first Avengers team. Well, you do it with the X-Men. All right there. But they're not. They're just giving us fucking Cap 4 and Thunderbolts and just stretching out all this shit that we've seen. Oh, sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, that's okay. I don't really know where I was going to go there. But is there a way that the multiverse collapses? Is that a thing in the
Deadpool
comic?
well, Deadpool also did say, and the multiverse sucks. It's like, wow, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did happen in DC. On the competition side, DC Comics did it back in 1986, called Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it took all of the Earths infinitely and combined them into one Earth, one history, one continuity, one timeline.
So is there a
It
way
didn't
to,
last.
Is there a way to end this where we only
Yeah, no, I don't know
walk
that there
out
is.
with 616? Like,
I'm really hoping that's what Secret Wars is supposed to do. It's supposed to bring all this nonsense to an end.
And okay, and they're like phase 9, and then we start
Yeah.
off with the new X-Men franchise. Right? Like,
Yeah, they don't have a Flashpoint type thing in Marvel that I know of that
No. The
resets and
You
The
keep
only
saying the
thing
plot made no
closest to
sense
that
in
was
Secret
the Infinity Gauntlet sort of saga in the comics, but they did shove that with Infinity War. So
I think
Yeah.
I think Megan
Megan's
is right.
right.
Chiba tonight. I'm not.
Jeff, I'll let you take this one.
Megan Byrne saying you keep saying the plot made no sense, but it seemed like a really straightforward premise to use with them looping in the TVA. The TVA was barely even part of the plot, other than this ridiculous MacGuffin time ripper device that made no sense. Please explain to me how an anchor being makes any sense. So when your anchor being dies, if Tony Stark was the anchor being, it means what? That universe was created 60 years ago when he was born. It couldn't have existed beforehand because he was the anchor being. And then as soon as he died, that universe just dies. So that universe was around for 60 years. Do you know you're the anchor being when you're born?
the universe would
work?
die, but it would take. I was doing some research. Apparently, it would take a
please.
very long time to die.
Oh, very long time. To
like
die.
1,000 years, right? So that would be the
Ah,
end of that timeline, but it would slowly decay. And what Paradox
Right.
wanted to do was just
Shorten
not
that
wait.
down.
not
Yeah.
wait 1,000 years. Just be like, they're gonna
Yeah.
die anyway. Just
Yeah.
okay, they're gone.
So why does anybody what that Kevin Spacey look like? Yeah, yeah, kind of a little bit. Yeah, it was refreshing at least to find out why they didn't use Owen Wilson, by the way,
Yeah.
which they
Mhm.
said in the movie. Yeah, I love how you're making it sound like I'm the only one that thinks this movie didn't make any sense. It's pretty much the universal given that this movie plot wise is dog shit, but we don't care because it was so much fun. But if it made sense to you, I'm actually happy. That's good. It made zero sense to me.
I don't
Maybe
think
a
it's
little
supposed to
more
make
finicky.
any sense. It's Deadpool. What does sense have anything to do with it? But you gotta
Well,
give it
the
up.
other movies had great plots. Both the first and second movies had a very specific plot. There was a very specific goal. You know, this was just like a couple loose cannons going nuts in the multiverse, right? Well,
I
fucking
mentioned
boys,
that to you
really.
before too, because
They
the
literally
stakes in this one.
Marvel lethal weapons of the MCU.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
exactly.
Like this, like in Deadpool 1, what was Deadpool 1 about at the end of the day?
That's just him trying to get his face back, but that doesn't.
Yeah, it's
work
just,
out.
it's just basically a revenge movie, right?
Mhm.
Like you fucked up my face, I want to kill you. That's the whole plot of that film. And then the
Simple.
second film, initially, same thing, a little bit of the revenge, and then it's what? Him fighting for one kid's soul. That's
Yeah.
all it was. And then this one, did this feel like a Deadpool movie to you plot-wise?
No, that's where I was gonna go with. Is this Deadpool 3 or is this just the Deadpool and
It's
Wolverine?
Marvel Deadpool 1 is what it is, right? This
Right.
felt way more like a Marvel movie than it did a Deadpool movie, even though none of it takes place in 616 like we talked about. It didn't feel like a Deadpool movie, kids. Stakes were
No.
way too high. Do you think Deadpool gives a fuck about universes collapsing and time rippers and all that? Does any of that seem in line with who Deadpool is in those first two films?
No.
I don't know, man. That's where it all kind of fell apart for me as far as the story went. Like, this doesn't feel like Deadpool anymore. Now, all the fight scenes, all the cameos, all the terrible things that he was saying to each other, cool. Specific plot, universe dying, find something to save the universe, and therefore friend. Okay,
I like
yes.
Andre's work at the it's just like No Way Home. It's all the callbacks, all the cameos, and all outweighs the utterly absurd the plot is.
Yeah.
That's true. Also, I got to give props to Hugh Jackman. He actually let me care about Wolverine as a character in the sense that he lost his world because he didn't want to be a part of it. And he's now starting ownership of his actions, and that's driven him into this. And now he's finally got himself back to where he can start building for himself. And I like that.
Do you think they should have spent a little bit more time kind of fleshing out Wolverine's backstory a little bit?
Like how he let all the
Yeah.
X-Men die and what he did.
It's
in his
really just
universe?
kind of like
Yeah.
that one scene when she's in his head.
Yeah.
And he kind of gives a little bit of exposition at that point, and then the fireside scene where he gives a little bit more to X-23, but then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
We don't really get enough, I feel like, to really identify with what he's going through. for having that catharsis at the end.
I'd
But
like to think that he's got the same motivations as Logan, right?
Yeah.
Logan is pissed because he was away and Professor X lost his mind and killed all the X-Men. And now he's having to care for this old man that basically killed his whole family and doesn't even remember it,
Yeah.
right?
There's that.
To me, that's the story,
yes,
right? Even though it's a different Wolverine, to me, that's still the same story, right? He
Yes.
wasn't there. He didn't want to be there. He fucked off, and Professor X killed them all. Right? So they all died, and he wasn't there to protect them. The one guy that could survive Professor X's brain thing that is shown in Logan, and he wasn't there to stop him.
Are you saying
Right.
in this film?
In Logan, they show
No, in
actual
Logan, I know
Rick
that. But are you
survived
kind of equating
brain-
the same? Because
Correct.
he says in the little dream sequence that it was humans that came to kill all the X-Men, and he
Oh,
wasn't
does
there.
he
was
really?
at
Oh,
the
I
bar getting
missed that.
pissed.
Yeah. The thing is, he didn't. He also said that I didn't just kill them. I killed a lot of other people, like good.
Yeah, he went on like a
And-
berserker rage and killed a lot of like innocent people when he was killing all the humans
So-
that killed his friends. So
Yeah. So I think that actually gives him just gives you just a little bit backstory. If they decide to, I would say if Hugh Jackman did, they may give it more and more. It's like a good storytelling. Gives just a little bit to entice you, and then give a little bit more. And that's what I believe the backstory of this Wolverine.
okay, no, that's
is
fair.
for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
You-
I think I just would have felt I had more like empathy for his story and more
Narrative.
catharsis at the end if I had a little bit more going in there. But yeah, you were never the guy
until you were.
until you were. And then
Yeah,
it
I
was.
love that. That was great. So
I rewatched Logan last night with my youngest. So we went to see Deadpool 3, but she hadn't seen Logan.
mhm.
So she didn't.
There's no context for her in
There's no
that.
context, right? So
Yeah.
the movie starts where Deadpool and Wolverine starts where Logan ends
Mhm.
at the site with the cross, right?
Right.
And she picked up right at the end of the movie. She's like, she's like, this is where Deadpool and Wolverine starts. I'm like, yeah, there you go, right?
You watched the reverse order, but we got you there. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah.
and man, that movie, I cried at the end of that movie. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw it for
Yeah.
the first time,
Everybody did. I mean,
Shed
it
some
was
tears. I'm pretty sure at the end
Great.
there.
yeah. That whole scene with Khan, the end, everyone cried in the movie. Like even in TVA, they cried. And we're like watching, like even though it's been ending, and we see that scene, we're all feeling that feel. It's like, yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Yeah.
Do we get a Deadpool 4, guys? Do we get
I
another
think so.
Deadpool movie? Yeah.
I think
No.
so.
We're gonna get
With
more
the kind of money it's gonna
Deadpool.
make, we're gonna get another
We
Deadpool
get
movie.
Deadpool and Wolverine too.
Yeah.
What do you want to see out of a
Spider-Man.
sequel, the Spider-Man film? Yeah, Deadpool and Spider-Man.
So Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
Is that what you're
so.
after?
I think it only makes sense to me. Like I said, those two characters are so tied together in the comics and in the cartoons, and like they always have a way of playing off each other that
Yeah.
I think works. The mouth and the mouth, like, do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
Spider-Man
Do you
script
feel?
with-
Do you feel though that's been Holland's take on it though? Because he hasn't really been the wisecracking mouthpiece that Spider-Man is in the comics.
He hasn't. You're right.
So I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to come across a little bit too much like he and Tony were. Like it's a little like we've already seen the Spider-Man buddy cop film with
Hear
him and
me
Tony.
out.
Yeah.
What if we get what's his face before the last guy?
Oh, him and Garfield. Yeah, no. Him and
Andrew
Garfield,
Garfield.
genius. Yeah. No,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
watch that all day long.
Yeah.
But that's going to confuse
You think it's
audiences.
Jerry Maguire,
choose
yeah.
that other Spider. You know what I mean? But I'd watch the shit out of it. I think that's fantastic.
You know, to me, after watching that team up with Blade, Elektra, and Gambit, I'd actually be down for a Marvel Knight movie, and just have that done. And having like Wesley Snipes be in that one, having Ghost
Rider, War Machine.
Punisher, just have them out there and just do that. That
I
could
would-
work.
That would be dope. That would be a great way to bring back some of those characters into, like, again, you can use the Nick Cage Ghost Rider for this,
Mhm.
right? You could use Wesley Snipes. He wants to come back. I mean, I heard he's, needs the money anyway, right? So,
He
Frick.
got to pay his taxes back. That's why.
so bringing him back again for Marvel Knights. Yeah, I would totally watch the shit out of a Marvel Knights movie. That's
There you
that's a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Should we ride off into the sunset on that?
Yeah, I
fantastic
think
idea?
so. Guys, did you enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine? Or do you agree with us? The plot's maybe a little bit silly, but it was still a fantastically fun movie. I think it's going to make a shit ton of money, guys. It's going to make a lot more money
It already
than we're seeing
has.
now. I mean, it's almost at $1 billion, and don't be surprised if you see it getting close to 2.
Yep.
Any parting words?
Oh yeah. Look, I have 2 words. The number one, this movie is awesome. Go watch it. I know you all have watched it, so go watch it again if you haven't done so. I love the funniness. I love the total balls to the wall action. The cameos, we've talked them all. Even Sabretooth, even though he was there for 45 seconds, I'll take it. But yeah, this movie definitely gets 2 thumbs up. And this is Deadpool, gets 2 middle fingers right there. Rob, what do you think?
Any parting words?
Oh, something we didn't mention, not really worth mentioning, but if you're a gun fan, his gold Desert Eagles, those are so amazing. Also,
off of Nice Pool, yeah,
I've then got from Nice Pool,
yeah. Van Milder, great.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Van Milder.
Oh, that was so good.
That's the funny thing that he hates or something. That Ryan Reynolds would kill himself in this movie.
We didn't even get into Nice Pool, but
When are you going to regenerate?
Yeah.
Regenerate?
How was I supposed to know he's the only Deadpool that doesn't regenerate?
Oh, give it up to Dog Pool. Dog Pool is the ugliest,
Dog
beautiful
Pool was
dog.
hilarious. Kid Pool was his daughter.
Yeah, all his family was there.
his whole family.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Baby
All the
Pool
Deadpool
was
variants.
Yeah, Baby
Pool
Pool
was his kid as well.
Yeah.
Who
else there?
Deadpool.
The severed head, the severed head. Deadpool.
Headpool.
Yeah, Headpool. That's Nathan Fillion.
Yes, Nathan Fillion voices Headpool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
cameos
Matthew
were
McConaughey.
is the
yeah.
cowboy
He's
pool.
the cowboy.
Pool.
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing my Deadpool Predator variant this weekend at VonCon, so I hope to see some of you there.
I'm so gonna miss that. Dang it.
Yeah, I mean, actually, maybe that's a good time to pitch that. Do you want to talk about that quickly, Rob? Or
Pitch it, guys.
VonCon, yeah. So the Geeks & Co. proper team are going to be at VonCon this weekend, which is Saturday, 10 to 5. If you got nothing else to do, I don't know where it is. I just go
Bellevue
where my
Manor,
executive
guys. You can
assistant tells
find
me
it
to
on
go.
your Google Maps. So come check
fantastic
it out.
venue.
I've never been, but it
venue.
looks pretty good. So
it.
I'm
Yes,
excited.
I've never been. It's my first time. So
Last year was, I believe, their first time in this new venue, and it was dope.
Nice.
They have food vendors outside. They it's a cool little con. Like I said, we're gonna try to do.
Come
more
hang
of
out with us if you're.
come and hang out.
Yeah.
I think that these cool little cons want to support us cosplayers. Let's support them, right? Come and check out these cons. Come and spend a little bit of money. Come and hang out. Like I said, there's gonna be food vendors there. Grab a bite. We're gonna be there on Saturday all day. We're doing Predators. And Jeff and Megan are doing Captain America and the Black Widow.
Nice.
Jen is doing her impression of a
Producer Jen.
cosplay handler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my version of Vanisher in VonCon. So much that I won't be there.
There you go. There you go.
So guys, so to all the guys on YouTube, if you want to see these wild and crazy geeks here do their thing, go to VonCon. But not only that, check them out in Geeks & Co. Like, subscribe, comment on the good stuff. Check them out on Spotify. I do. When I can't go on here and mess with these guys, like going to do different stuff at the same time, like I used to do, I go on their Spotify and just watch and listen to their podcast. It's awesome.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can listen to all your favorite geeks talking about their favorite geek topics. Guys, it's been a great one this week. Thanks so much for all your comments. You guys were all over the comments on this one. Clearly, everybody's very passionate about this movie one way or another. I think editor Meg and I are going to have a fist fight over the plot of this film. Maybe stay tuned. Yeah, if you want to see Steve Rogers' Captain America, a very old version, versus Black Widow. Come to VonCon, and I think you're actually going to see that matchup. I think I'm going to bring 3 shields with me for this.
Okay,
one.
Rob, I want you to get the videotape for that, and I want you to play Olivia Newton-John. You're the one that I want.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm glad y'all love the film, and I don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, but like I said, hopefully we're going to see you guys at VonCon. We'll probably have some post VonCon talking next week.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to film some footage, or maybe show some of the footage of VonCon live next week on the podcast. And instead of going live from VonCon, maybe we film some footage and show it on the podcast. Maybe that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe we'll do that. Guys, thanks for everybody for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. Like Mr. Wayne here was saying, you haven't clicked that like, subscribe. Make sure you do.
Yeah.
Wayne,
do it
thanks
now.
for joining us.
Do it now. Do it.
Get to the chopper. Wayne, thanks for joining us, buddy.
As always, it's a pleasure.
Roberto,
Rob, obviously, man.
Garcon.
We'll see you on Saturday. Same with you, Jeff. We will see you bright and early Saturday morning at
You bet your
the
sweet French ass you
VonCon.
will.
In the meantime, make sure you stay geeky, everybody. See you next week.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Geek Boutique Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to make sure you never miss an